gals, and over here from Drake Wayne Gaming. To some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of When I Knew You. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. King's Arcade. Marcus is standing outside waiting for me, leaning on his truck with his arms crossed. He's got that same look of conflict on his face, his ears going flat on his head. Marcus. He looks at me. Are you going to tell me what happened in there? He swallows, and after a moment he gives me a quick nod, clearing his throat. Cal, you know how I said David wasn't in the best state of mind before he left? He speaks low and raspy, as if he doesn't want to say what he's about to say. I just nod. Well, what I meant by that was that he was on drugs. My face goes cold and my heart sinks. None of us noticed at first, but then he started getting these mood swings. He would pick fights with the other guys in the team and almost beat one of them up. He was all over the place, just a complete mess. None of us told the coach about it, but eventually we decided to tell him. But David left before we were able to. I let his words sit there, replaying them over and over in my head. This seems fake. David? My David? Drugs? Why would he? This doesn't make any sense. What does Troy have to do with all this? Marcus looks away again, hesitating. Troy started smoking weed sophomore year. It was relatively harmless, despite how much me and Karina didn't like it. But I think after a while he must have convinced David to smoke with him because they started getting high together. Troy's dealer must have known or something because he started selling it to David separately. Pretty soon we realized he was doing more than just weed. I'm shaking my head as I'm listening to all this. Troy too? I know it isn't exactly Troy's fault that David started doing drugs, but if he hadn't started smoking in the first place, maybe David wouldn't have. He hasn't finished his thought, his hands balling into fists. I feel like someone just knocked the wind out of me. How can he change so much into someone I can't even recognize? How can he change into a complete stranger? Tears swell into my eyes and I press the palms of my hands hard into them, seeing bursts of white. Cal. What the fuck, man? I leave for 4 years and you guys start doing drugs? I can't... Why did he... If I hadn't left, would he have... I'm sobbing now, and suddenly I'm in his arms, pressed firmly against his chest. Cal, no. No. It's not your fault. You've been through your own shit. This is their problem, not yours. But David wasn't... He wouldn't have... If I was with him, right? I feel him shaking his head, pressing his lips on my head. You don't know that, Cal. I don't know anything, Marcus! I continue to sob as he hugs me tightly, whispering how it isn't my fault, my responsibility. But I'm not listening. Are you sure you don't want to ride home? I'm mounted on my bike, tears now fully dried, leaving my face a little sticky. Yeah, I'm sure. I kind of want to be alone and, think. He nods solemnly, gripping the handle of his truck's door. Yeah, okay. Cal? Yeah? I'm sorry for not talking to you these past years. I shake my head. No, don't be. We both broke contact. It's not your fault. He nods, as if agreeing, then gets inside his truck. I'll see you tomorrow, Cal. Yeah, see you, Marcus. I reach over and give his arm a reassuring squeeze as I smile at him. He smiles back in that warm way he always does, and with that, he drives away on the empty street. I watch his truck disappear, and once it does, I wipe my face and position my bike the opposite direction, and make my way towards David's house. I stand in front of his house for a good 5 minutes or so. It's just as big as I remember, our usual hangout spot being his backyard when we were kids. As such, David always took the role of the leader. Like our group was some little gang and he was our boss. I sort of saw myself as the mob boss's wife, always protected by everyone, but especially by David, the mob boss in question. But I'm not here to see the boss. He's gone rogue and no one has a clear answer as to why, and the closest person to him is inside this house. Hopefully. Thinking I've been standing here long enough for it to be creepy, I take a deep breath and walk up to the porch. With shaking hands, I give 3 small, resounding knocks on the door. After a couple of seconds that feels like hours, I hear some shuffling inside. Just a minute! I immediately recognize Lupe's high-pitched voice, a bit more mature now. Before I even have time to think about anything, the door swings open inwardly, revealing her small frame in the opening. Oh my god, she's small. Can I help you? She stares at me, wide-eyed, her hand gripping the door handle. Hi, look. She throws her body at me with enough force to make me grunt, squeezing me tightly. Callum! Lupe! I hug her back, though not as hard, and softly give her hair a pet. She smells just like him. She pulls away and looks up at me excitedly. Oh my gosh, you're here? Since when? Why didn't anyone tell me? I mean, I just got here yesterday, so... Ooh, I have so much to tell you! She lets out an excited squeal, shifting her weight from one leg to another. As jumpy as ever, I see. Come on inside! She grabs me by the arm and leads me inside, closing the door behind me. Sit wherever, I'll get us some juice! She disappears into the kitchen, leaving me alone in the living room. It's almost exactly the same as I remember in. Apart from a few new picture frames I don't recognize, it's as if this place was frozen in time. How nice would that be? I take a seat on one of the sofas, running my fingers along the old soft fabric. I guess it would be pretty nice if everything was frozen in time, including us. I close my eyes, letting memory after memory seep in. Feels like just yesterday. Back! I open my eyes and watch Lupe walk over to me with a pitcher of what seems to be lemonade and 2 glass cups with floral patterns. She sets it all on the coffee table and serves me some juice, and then herself, handing me the cup. Thank you. Sitting down next to me on the sofa, but with enough space between us to not be uncomfortable, she takes a small sip from her own glass and smiles at me. You're so big now. Yeah, everyone thinks so. I've missed you so much, Callum. How have you been? She flashes me another sweet smile, and a familiar wave of warmth washes over me. It suddenly hits me, now that we're seeing each other again and how happy she is, that Lupe is the closest thing I've ever had to a sibling, like a little sister. I smile back at her. I really missed you too, Lupe, and I mean it. I've been good. Philly was nice, but I'm really glad I'm back, even if it's just for a senior year. She nods, her expression turning sour. Yeah, it kinda sucks that there isn't any good colleges around here for like 60 miles. Yep, but honestly, I think people want to leave this place anyway. At least the teenagers do. Yeah. Oh. I bite my lip, cringing inwardly, realizing it's exactly what David did. I quickly changed the subject. So, how have you been, Lupe? I'm pretty good. I'm in the swim team now. Really? That's awesome. Got any medals? Yeah, bronze ones. The girls from the other schools are stupid good. Putas are probably born underwater or something. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Hey, it's okay. It's not like I'm gonna tell your parents. You're older now. It's pretty normal. It's still embarrassing if it's in front of you. Do you even know what a puta is? Kinda. My mom was kinda careful not curse in front of me as a kid. Isn't it kinda like a bitch? Yeah, loosely translated. David would yell that word a lot when he lost in video games, so I assumed it meant fuck for a while. Then he called some kid a puta for not jumping off the diving board when we went to swim at the community pool that one summer. So I kinda guess it was closer to bitch. I mean, it's interchangeable. It could mean both depending on how you use it. Wait, am I seriously talking Spanish curse words with my little sister? Right, yeah, I guessed as much. We go quiet, the sound of Ramirez's grandfather clock ticking away echoing in the living room. Speaking of David, my palms start to go sweaty, and I hold him in my lap. You heard what happened to him, right? I give a small nod. What exactly did you hear? Huh? She just stares at me expectantly. That he ran away from home? She curses under her breath, bouncing her leg. Why? She goes still and looks at me. Because that's not the truth. A tingling sensation creeps in the back of my head, a cold prickling feeling. That's just what everyone says. The police, the investigators, the school. Even Marcus and the others believed it. But that's not the truth. It can't be. Lupe. No, I swear, he could never leave without telling anyone. Especially without telling me. Should I tell her about that? Would it cause her more harm to know, or give her peace of mind? Fuck it, she's his little sister, and hell, she's mine too. She deserves to know. Lupe, I know David was doing drugs, Callum. Hell, I lived with him, of course I knew. Marcus and the others think I'm some dumb little kid. They won't talk to me about David or his disappearance because they think I don't understand. But I'm his sister. I understand better than anyone. It's true that Marcus is known to hide the truth from people. I mean, I'm a front row witness after all. I mean, can you really blame them for wanting to shield you from all this? Yes, I can. They never shield each other from this. It's always me who needs protecting, me who shouldn't have to know about this. You guys always tell each other everything. No, we don't. Yes, you do. At least Marcus and Troy always know everything. They tell each other these things? Well, they don't tell me. What? Wait, they don't? They don't. She looks at me as if something clicked inside her. What? You're the me of the group, aren't you? Huh? You're the youngest, right? Yeah. Don't they treat you like a little kid? Like you're supposed to be protected? No, they don't. The mob boss allegory I made earlier flashes through my mind in an instant. I was the mob boss's wife, wasn't I? No, it wasn't quite like that. I was the mob boss's kid, pampered and protected just like a child. Mob bosses' wives are at least respected by the rest of the mob, I realize. I'm right, aren't I? Did they even tell you when David went missing? I found out yesterday. She's shocked for a moment and chuckles, devoid of all humor. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They don't tell you these things because they think you can't handle it. In fact, I don't believe for a second they actually think David ran away. Her voice is harsh, rising in anger. Lupe, do you really think someone did something to him? Yes, that's exactly what I think. David might have been going through a rough time, but he wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye. He wouldn't. I don't know if I should believe her or not. I don't think David would do that, but clearly, I don't know David anymore. Callum, you're the only one who could understand me. Out of the four of you, you were the closest to him. He was your boyfriend, for Christ's sake. He's sporadic and sometimes apathetic, but he loves me and Mama y Papa. And I know he loves you too. I try and swallow the lump that's forming in my throat, but it's no use. Please, at least help me try to figure out what happened to him. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!